In project calendars, we can define alternate worksheets that apply only to specific dates as well as time of like holidays. To start working on the calendar, go to the project tab and then click change working time. That opens up the change working time dialog box, and in the for calendar box we can see that project calendar work for knowledge is already selected. So we are gonna make changes to this calendar. I'm gonna start with an alternate worksheet. In the bottom half of the dialog box, click the worksheets tab, then select the first blank name cell. Let's say that this alternate worksheet is for shorter weeks in the summer, so I'm gonna call it summer. Then in the start cell you specify when does this alternate worksheet start. So let's say it starts at June 16, 2020. Then I can click the finish and say that's gonna go until August 16, 2020. Now that I have the dates in place, I'm gonna click the details button on the right side, and that opens up detail for summer. Now remember, our work for knowledge calendar already has a really sweet schedule and Friday is a non-working day. So let's say in the summer it gets even better. Thursday is going to be a half day. In the select days list, I'm gonna click Thursday and then choose the options set days to these specific working times. I'm gonna make it a half day, and easiest way to do that is to delete the second row of the time, the 1 to 6. So I'm gonna click anywhere in that row. Then on the keyboard I'm gonna press the delete key, and that deletes the entire row. Then go ahead and click OK. Notice if I pick a Thursday in the calendar, the working times show up as 8 to 12. Now that we have our summer work week, let's head over to the exception tab. I'm gonna start by creating a holiday. So let's say it's Independence Day. In the first blank name cell, I'll type in the name for the holiday. Then I go over to the start cell. Now I can click the down arrow to see the calendar, and here I'm looking at June 2020. So I'm gonna click the blue arrow on the right to go to the July, and notice that July 11th is on the weekend. So let's make the Monday after the weekend the holiday. So I click July 13th. Now I'm gonna create another exception. This one will be for a longer period of time. In the first blank name cell, I'll type the name of the exception. So let's say it's maintenance. It's gonna be done at the end of the year, and everything shuts down while they work on the equipment in the company. So let's go to the start cell and suppose that it starts on January 16, 2021. So I type in that date, then I go to the finish cell, and it ends on July 1st, 2021. And that's all I have to do because it's non-working time. So I can go ahead and click the next blank name cell. This last exception is going to be recurring exception. That means it repeats. So far we are going to use a quarterly meeting. I'll type in the name of the exception. Then we can go to the start cell and we'll say that it starts on January 16, 2021. At this step, I'm gonna go to the right side and click details. That opens up the detail for quarterly meeting. Initially, non-working options is selected. If you decide to make it working time, then every day in the exception as be the same. But in this case, we'll keep it as a non-working. Next, we go down to the bottom half of this dialog box to recurrent spectrum. It's gonna be monthly, and let's say that we want it to be the third Monday. So I select second options on the right, then in the box where it says first, I click the down arrow and choose third. So now it's the third Monday, but it's going to be the quarterly. So I want it to be every 3 months. Then what you do in the end after, specify the number of the occurrence that you want. Let's say it's 12. When I do that, project will calculate what the finish date is. So when I click OK, that gets filled in finish date for the exception. At this point, we have our alternate work week for the summer and 3 exception. So I'm gonna click OK to close change working time. With calendar exception and additional work weeks, you can set up holidays, other non-working time, and special work weeks that apply to specific dates.